Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast number 34. Today we have 10 questions from you real estate investors. Thank you very much. If you want to ask a question, remember, all you have to do is email it to support@bsffacademy.com. First question. In subject to deals structured the way you suggest, when is the original loan in the seller's name paid off? Great question. It's paid off when I either do one of two things. I make the last payment or I refinance the property, extinguishing that loan. I never write in my contract that I'm going to pay it off any other time because I don't want to create what we call a deed restriction. That's part of your agreement that then will go onto your deed. And then if you don't do it that way, it can be rescinded. We don't want to do that. So I tell the seller it'll be paid off on the last payment or when I refinance. I don't tell them when I sell, although at all times when I sell, I pay it off. But some people that do subject to investing don't actually pay off the mortgage when they sell. That's the whole idea of doing marginal sub-2 financing. Question number 2. Do you use any kind of internet leads to find sellers? If so, what kind? Well, I do have a website, 1-800-SELL-FOR-CASH, and we do get a handful of leads per week. However, I'm not intentionally sending people to the internet to give me their information. I want to talk to them. I want them to call me. They're going to talk to Alex, and then they're going to talk to Ryan. Ryan's is going to negotiate the contract. I do not want them going to the internet, filling out a form, because if they do, then Alex has to call them anyway. So it's just so much simpler to tell them to call me. Call me. Then we can ask you the questions, qualify you as a seller that's motivated, hand that call to Ryan, who's going to negotiate the transaction, go out and get a contract. Question number 3. Using the sub-2 owner financing model, can you back out of a deal once escrow's open? Do you ever have to do this? And if so, why? You can back out of the deal dependent upon the conditions of your contract. So whatever contingencies you have. Now in my contract, I can back out of it all the way up to close of escrow without harm because I have that period to inspect my property. Have I ever backed out of a deal? Absolutely, because there's things that we'll do when we inspect properties and things that we'll find that causes us not to want to continue. As an example, I entered into a sub-2 deal with a seller to buy their property, and Mr. Seller was pouring oil on the backyard lawn every time he changed the oil, and I guess he was a backyard mechanic, and he would just pour the oil on the ground. That was caught on an inspection. The problem with that, the cost to mitigate that contaminated dirt costs more than I was willing to pay. And so I disclosed to him that I would no longer want to buy his house. And when I had disclosed that to him, he now then had to disclose it to the future the future buyer. So there are ways and reasons we want to get out of these sub-2 deals. We don't typically need to get out of them because of something about the loan. We know pretty much everything we need to know about the loan, unless the seller is just flat lying to us. Yes, it's current, but no, it's 6 months late. Well, things like that could cause issues, or they thought it was 4% and it was actually 14% interest. Well, things like that, but that's just because the seller misrepresented what the loan was. Question number 5. Do you have any recommendations for books on NLP and ways to learn presentations the way that you give to sellers? I have a great recommendation. That's a great question. Join my coaching program and I'll take you through how to make that negotiation presentation. That's all you got to do. I'll teach you other stuff too, but I'll absolutely teach you how to negotiate with sellers to make all the money you need to make. It's cool doing 200 deals a year, guys. It's absolutely friggin' awesome. And if I can teach my Alexes and my Ryans and all the other investors that I've coached out there, I can coach you and teach you too. Question number 6. What contracts do you use during a deal, and in what conjunction do you use them? I just have a really simple 9-page agreement. It's a purchase agreement. I'm going to buy your house. I also back that up with a memorandum of contract that I have signed and notarized the next day. I won't record that unless I feel the seller's going sideways. Then we have a walkthrough agreement to make sure the house remains in the same condition as it did when we contracted it, and we have a close walkthrough to confirm. Other than that, that's all we use. Simple purchase agreement. It's not a realtor one. It's one that I created myself. It has things in it that says something like this. It says, I'm going to make a huge amount of money buying and selling your house. And huge is capital in bold, biggest word on the page. It says, I'm going to start marketing your house tomorrow, and I'm going to put a sign in your front yard. I can put it in the newspaper, and I'm going to put it on the MLS. It says things like, if you try to back out, you owe me $50,000 or 25%, whichever is greater. It keeps people in the game. So it's important to have a really strong contract. All the folks that are part of my coaching program have access to it. Most of them use it. Question number 7. Once you get a house under contract, how are you finding buyers? Are they tenant buyers? Are you listing it on the MLS and selling them at retail value? I'm absolutely doing this. Here's what I'm doing. Rarely will I keep a house. I hate being a landlord. I am not a landlord. Gosh, I hate it. I understand why people like being a landlord. It's not for me. It's like yucky food, man. And I can't do it. I can't stomach it. But sometimes we do. Sometimes we'll keep a house. But most occasions, I'm buying a house at an as-is value at a discount. And then I'm going to sell that property at as-is value. Let someone else pay cash for it, give me the cash, fix it up, do whatever they want to it. But if its ARV is 200 and its as-is is 100, I'm going to buy it for $40,000. And I'll make my spread. That's fine. Or $50,000, whatever the spread is. Or $60,000, whatever I think I need to do at the time. And keep in mind, I'm going to build in that 10% marketing figure back into that. I'm going to build back into that 8.25% closing cost for both closes, because I'm never going to just pass the paper. I'm actually going to take constructive notice. So I'm going to close and then reclose it again. Question number 9. How many real estate agents should real estate investors be in contact with on a regular basis? As many as possible. I believe you should be at least talking to 2 a week, 2 different ones a week, finding them, make relationships with them. They're all different. Real estate agents are not the same. Some of them sell houses, some of them buy houses, some of them make coffee, some of them teach school, but they're not the same people. So I think you should be telling everybody that you buy houses, finding those people that are happy to sell you a house at a discount, those people that have pocket listings, those people that won't list a house because it's not pretty enough for them. Whatever it is, I want you to make those relationships. Man, it's important. Here's what I'm doing. I'm buying 2 houses out of state, so long way. I've so far tried to talk to 5 different real estate agents over the last week. So far, 3 of them have returned my call. They're worse than real estate investors. Oh my goodness. You try to call a real estate agent and get a call back within a reasonable amount of time, you might as well go play the lottery and expect to win the lottery first. Keep in mind, I'm a broker in California, so I can talk about real estate agents like this. I'm not saying anything that's not true. For all those real estate agents out there, don't get mad at me. Question number 10. Do you recommend sending one letter to 10,000 people or a series of 5 different letters sent to 2,000 people? I believe in cluster marketing. Cluster marketing is when you hit your prospect multiple times, multiple different ways. And I'm big into direct mail. Love it. Gonna get big into my infomercial again. Love my infomercial. A half an hour, little, I want to buy your house kind of thing. But from a direct mail perspective, I'm going to send them 6 different pieces of direct mail, 6 different phone numbers to the same prospect 6 times. Actually, I'm going to do it 12 times. I'm going to do it until they sell their house to me or sell it to somebody else. They're going to get hit as long as they qualify, as long as they haven't refinanced, took all the equity out. I'm going to redo my list every 6 months, so it's a fresh list. Some people will be new, some people will go away, and some people will stay. And I'm going to continue to hit them. I'm going to continue to hit them. I'm going to continue to hit them. It's the only reason Budweiser during the Super Bowl this year spent millions of dollars telling us to go buy a Budweiser, knowing none of us were going to get off the couch and go to the store during the Super Bowl. Think about that, folks. It's the only reason that Coca-Cola has 6 different bottled waters. Different shapes, different sizes, but the ingredient was the same. It was water. And I don't think you can do anything to water to make it anything different other than water. If you do, it's called something different. That they have 6 waters. It's amazing. So cluster marketing works. So understand, and hitting the people over and over and over and over and over again works. We gotta, guys, we gotta do this stuff. Thank you so much for the 10 questions today. Keep them coming. I want to do 10 more on Monday if I can, if I get 10 over the weekend. If not, we'll do 5. Remember to send them to support@bsffacademy.com. And remember, if you too want to become super wealthy in the real estate investment business, all you got to do is give me 15 minutes of your time. I'll explain my coaching program. If it's something that you see that fits you, sign up. Let's get you going, and we'll get you on your way. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.